What's going on? Welcome to the next video on how to draw dynamic poses. And for this video, I'm going to start using the poses from the series JoJo Bizarre Adventure. And if you've seen or read the manga for that series, you know that all the characters or pinups that he has, that the artist has for these characters, are kind of like a weird bending positions and stuff. So wanted to use some of those for this practice. So for this one, I start from the head as usual and work my way down. And his head, the body is kind of at an angle, so I'm kind of just trying to follow and flow along with that. I'm trying to work in and find where all the big shapes are and where all the lines and creases are going to go for me to fill in this character or this pose. Finding my shoulders with the circles, and kind of use the circles where the shoulders are as a placement for where to place the rest of the body parts, like the arm. And it's kind of an easy way for me to know where the shoulder position when I put that circle in. So I can have one circle on the top and then one circle on the bottom, showing that the other shoulder is going down at an angle or in far view perspective. So right now I'm drawing in the hand, getting the fingers, just adding it in there, not getting too focused or too detailed into it, just something to rough in as a placeholder. That way I know where it's at and what's going on with it, in case I decide to detail it or turn it into a different character. Now working in the leg, and since the leg is kind of bending and the bottom leg is going kind of to the side, I wanted to try to get that. It's kind of easy to just draw the circle where the knee is, and then kind of you're creating that cylinder to overlap over that circle, and you're kind of just bending the cylinder down to form the calf of the leg. Adding in the foot, and the other leg is going back. So I kind of want to try to have the cylinder kind of as if it's the cylinder is tilted behind. That way I can get that back leg in there and the back foot. And you see the pose is done pretty quick, rough, to get in the general idea of what he's doing. Darkening the shapes. Now I'm getting in that hand on the bottom. Still roughening the shapes in. It doesn't have to be too perfect. Just something to practice with, to kind of try to understand it until you start to be better at it. It's a thing where when you're drawing these poses, the more poses you draw from, whether it's from anime or from cartoons or movies or wherever, or from life, the more poses that you draw, you're kind of building a library in your head for how the poses are and how they move and how they relate to each other. So for this one, I chose this pose. He has a little weird thing he's doing with his hands. So I started the same as the other one. Started with the head. Add that little cross in there. And if some people are wondering what the cross is for, is because it's just a kind of showing where the things will be placed. So I put the cross in there, and I can have the nose. If I'm putting the nose in there, I'll put a circle where the nose is, and the circle for the nose would be typically below that center line, depending on the character. For me, if I'm doing a monster, maybe the nose can be where the center line is if it has a weird face. But typically with the normal human face, I'll have that circle below that center line of the head to show where the nose is. And then the circles for big circles on the sides, it's kind of like you're kind of slicing the head in half. almost. If you see me do my previous poses in my other videos, you'll see me do that. So right now I'm adding in circles for the shoulders, cylinders for the arms, the usual. And the more practice that you have doing this, the easier it is to just do it. It'll come natural. And then the more that you do this, it's easy to take and create your own poses by bending the shapes your own way. I'll make a video on that. Creating your own poses is super easy. You're literally just taking, drawing the body, the top half of the body, the bottom half of the body, and you're bending it in different positions. And as you're bending it, you're drawing the head and the arms and adding in the feet later on at the end in whatever position you want, basically creating your own pose. And the knowledge that you have for how the arms and legs relate to each other would be your key to figuring out the best ways to proportionally create the pose you want. So right now I'm adding in the cylinder for the leg, bottom of the leg, the calf, the foot. Getting that back leg in. This is behind. I'm kind of just. I could just draw the leg going straight through, but for this one, I decided to save time when erasing that and just draw it, figure it out. I mean, it's just something to do for practice, so you can easily just go back and fix it. I mean, you're erasing the whole thing anyway when you're creating your actual details, so it doesn't really make a difference how this version look. I can have this pose and maybe something can be off, or the leg can be positioned a certain way that it shouldn't be from a thumbnail. That I can just when I erase it to add my actual details, I can go back and fix all that. So no worries about that. Now for this one, chose a little pose with a little foreshortening in it to make it a little more challenging. I like to challenge myself with these foreshortened poses because I don't see you don't see a lot of those. So this is what this detail I added before. I mentioned before where I had the circle for the nose right below that center line. And I added those two circles on the side. So the head. Making the body in. I'm kind of just figuring out the position of his body because I want my brain to see that his body is at an angle. So I kind of sometimes I'll make these box shapes to kind of force my mind to draw at that angle, because sometimes if I don't draw that box shape, I can draw the pose and think that it's at an angle when it's not. So I use that as kind of like a guide. And sometimes it still may not be at an angle, and I have to later on when I decide to erase it and add details, and I can easily fix it because my mind already knows that this is how it's supposed to be. So I'm adding the line. I'm trying to make everything follow the box. Even same thing for perspective. Sometimes for perspective, I'm drawing the 3D shape of the box, where I'm drawing the guy perspective grid, and then whether it's 1 point, 2 point perspective, and after I draw that, I'll draw the boxes where things will be placed, and then start placing people in the boxes to kind of measure out where things would go and the height and things like that. his leg. And for one leg, I didn't have. It seemed like one leg was supposed to go out, or was pushed out a little bit more, and the leg I have there is not going that far, but it's an easy fix. It's kind of like whatever. Fix that at the end, or whenever you got time to go fix it. But if you notice that that's something that you need to have specifically that way, you can easily just, when you erase it, add details, just go fix it. I'm adding in the forearm. And when you see me make that box, sometimes when I'm doing foreshortening, I will add the box where the hand is. Then that way I'll know how far to stop. So I'm making the circle for the shoulder, then I overlap, for the bicep, then overlap again for the forearm, and then, but I'll before I add the forearm, I'll place that box where the hand is going to be. That way I'll know how far to stop, and I'm not going too far. I see in the picture, it stops right by the face. So I put the box right there. That way, when I'm doing the forearm, you can easily stop where the box is, because that's where the hand is going to be. And after that, I started adding in my little details. Working in all the shapes of the hand. And typically, when I'm doing the hand, I always like to add the 3 cylinders for the fingers. It's kind of like it's an easy way for me to quickly jot down a hand that I would later fix and make more realistic, or add more realistic bends that increases that the hand would have. And if you see my other video, you know that I also use my little hand dummy thing that I like to use. I mean, if you watch my live, you see me, I've shown that in my video. I forgot what it's called, but I got it off of Amazon. So I'm just working the hand. I wasn't trying to get too detailed with it. Once I started drawing some of the hand, I got a little carried away and kept going with it. Typically I would stop at some point, but for some reason I decided to detail the hand more. I'm adding in that hand on the bottom. And I think this, where I did this, another easy way of kind of figuring the hand out or drawing it in quickly is just draw the palm first. Sometimes you can draw the palm first and then throw the fingers in after it, which is what I've done on this particular one. I had the palm there with the thumb, and I'm just throwing the fingers in, using the shapes I typically use, the 3 cylinders for the fingers, or 2 cylinders, and then the last cylinder is kind of a closed, pointy end to it. Another finger. Jotting everything down. Darkening all the lines, adding some small details to it. Just trying to fix it up. So now if I would change this pose, I would take and have the line, I would leave both hands there. Then I would lightly erase the top half of the body, lower half of the body, and I would take that center line where the chest is, and I would rotate it in a curve. You see that in the picture on the left is the line from the center where the chest is. It goes at a even bigger curve where it's kind of like distorted. And I'll change it to do that, and also bend the leg more, and then bam, the pose is fixed. So if you like what you see and want to see more videos like this, hit the like button, subscribe, and take care.